Egypt!
An amazing country full of history, underwater sea life and beautiful deserts.
We started our vacation by 5 days of diving. We don't bring the camera every day, but today we're gonna just show you one of our average dive days. We just left. Now we usually have like 20 minutes until we reach our dive site, which we'll use to read a little bit about diving. Jay is doing her advanced open water, and I'll be reading a little bit about our next destination. Egypt is fantastic for diving. You can get full day trips including food, gear and 2 dives for as cheap as $40 a day. We had with Minion Divers a fantastic Egyptian agency. They have their own boats, they have good quality equipment, and they also have very good dedicated dive masters. So we had a fantastic time. The sea life here is just stunning. It's so many beautiful colors, coral reefs with so many fish, but then there are also wrecks in deeper depth with amazing swim-throughs, which you can also do even if you're not a dedicated wreck diver. And there's just so much happening all around, although unfortunately a few of these corals start to bleach, and you can definitely see the toll that the tourism takes from the sea life. It's still one of the most amazing places we've experienced so far for diving.
The food is typical Egyptian food. It's really tasty.
When we were in Egypt in November, it was low season, and yet there's a lot of tourists and a lot of boats on the spots. So be aware that if you go in high season, it's gonna be packed.
Yes.
After 5 beautiful days of diving, we were off to Luxor in the bus, because Egypt of course has to offer a lot more than just amazing underwater sea life.
We are here in front of the Luxor temple. We found a nice cute restaurant that serves more than just pizza or burger, and we have some Egyptian meals in front of us. So as Egyptian as it gets sometimes. And then after we will visit the temple.
And then we sort of lost track of time and didn't have time at the end to visit the Luxor temple, but rather had to head on directly to the Karnak temple, which is the big one in Luxor.
So this temple was built 1,000 years before Christ, around. And it starts here behind us. I'm wearing this thing not because I have to, but because we forgot the hats, and it's quite sunny. Yeah. And I'm getting some headache, so I have to protect my head now. So here, this is our book, and here you see the, I don't know how it's called, the cards, saying the name of the kings, different kings. Like each one had a different set of cards. And we know that now in the Karnak temple, we're in this era. So I was comparing the name of the kings here with the ones that we see in these descriptions. And here, for example, we just found Ramses. So if you follow it, so this is kind of down one thing like goes like this, one circle, one thing like that, one circle on point, and then we compare this one here, and exactly the same things are on these cards over here. So we just found the name Ramses II. Ta-da! Now I can read Egyptian. These columns over there are called papyrus columns because they represent the form of a papyrus plant.
So it's almost 5 in the evening, I think, and there's almost nobody here anymore. It's really beautiful. I can only recommend that you come here in the afternoon, late afternoon, maybe evening. I mean, of course, once the sun is set, there are much less colors in the ruins, but the place gets really, really quiet. Also, there will be a lot of policemen, official guardians, everybody here who is standing in front of a closed area of the park, and instead of guarding it, they will offer you to come through for a special view, and of course, afterwards ask for some bakshish, which is Arabic for tip, basically. And that's, I think, like their, I'm not sure if it's a second or the main income. The Temple of Karnak is massive, so if you come here, you should bring enough time to wander around, look at all the details. And there's also a light show every evening, and the tickets are sold within the temple itself. Probably you can also find them online, I suppose. But yeah, so you can keep that in mind. Maybe you come in the afternoon and you stay until the light show.
Devenu anonyme.
Ce miroir, enchâssé dans la pierre, a reflété le plus beau feu d'artifice de l'Antiquité.
In Luxor we found a hotel, like a hostel style, and the atmosphere is really nice. It lies next to a lagoon.
Probably like an old part of the Nile. But there are no mosquitoes, so we are right next to the water. But there are no mosquitoes. And it's called Luxor Old Nile Hotel. It's a really nice place. The staff is really, really like building the place themselves. This day we would visit the famous King's Valley and the Hatshepsut Temple. So as you can easily tell, it's quite full already, and we are not. So what's the time now? Do you know more or less? 9:30. So 9:30 is quite full already. It's supposed to get fuller and fuller during the day, obviously. They do open at 6 in the morning, but we couldn't be bothered.
This is the map of the tombs. There are, I think about 80 tombs. Some of them are open to the public, and every day there are 9 open. And from these 9, the ticket includes 3. And you can buy extra tickets for visiting some of them extra, like this one that we visited now. It is Ramses VI, and we bought a ticket for that extra. After 4,000 years, these tombs look beautiful. The colors are stunning. Imagine how they looked 4,000 years ago when they were built. I think just amazing. And how they were painted. First, an artist painted everything in red, and then the more experienced artist painted then everything in black, correcting the mistakes. And then once the painting was finished in red, the next artisans came and started engraving the lines.
Another interesting fact is that once you become king, you immediately start to dig your grave. Once you die, you only have 70 days left. Well, not you yourself, but the community has 70 days left to finish your tomb. After that, it needs to be closed. So all the kings and, in case of Hatshepsut, also the queen, start digging their tomb right after they got crowned. Okay, so now we are on a small hike which goes from the King's Valley over this ridge, as you can see behind me. We follow this path and we'll go to the left later and then down to the Hatshepsut Valley. So we arrived at the first ridge. As you can see, behind us is the Valley of Kings. And so there are, I don't know what it is, there are some structures of stone here. It seems to be ancient. I don't know if it's Egyptian times or not. But basically we will cross it and then keep ourselves to the left and continue.
Sadly, the view is not so clear, so there is a lot of dizziness, but it is nice. So the Neo, the cultivated fields. You see here the buses over there going to the temple, and here is going our way to the temple on the mountains.
So now here we can see Hatshepsut temple. And this is the way we came, so this is the ridge with these old stones. And we came here behind the lamps until this house, and then below this house we crossed down here. But look at the views, isn't it amazing? Also, what is funny, so there are electric cars which take you from here to here, which they say it's 1 kilometer, but I would say it's more like 200 meters. Might be worth it in summer when there's 45 degrees. Right now. Well, anyways, they're also only 5 pounds. So.
This is the temple of Hatshepsut, which was actually not a born pharaoh. It was the wife of a pharaoh, and when her husband died, she had to reign for her son, the son of the pharaoh, until he has got of age. But then actually she overtook the throne, so she was actually the pharaoh for 20 years, if I'm not wrong. And this temple was built in the 1500s before Christ. And after her death, then her son took the throne as his right, and then he deleted all her names on everywhere you can find it on the temple and put his name on it.
So we finished visiting the temple of Hatshepsut, and next stop will be Luxor. We're gonna get picked up here, and Luxor supposedly has a very nice souk, so we're gonna relax a little bit and then head to the souk. Okay, we were a little bit too tired for the souk, so instead we got a shower at the hotel and are now sitting at the Nile in a very nice, small, simple but very nice cafe or bar, restaurant, but I think they do everything. Right in front of the temple of Luxor on the other side. So, right in front of the temple of Luxor. And we're just
enjoying the scenery on the Nile.
These sailboats, these traditional sailboats, are called felucas, and supposedly they date back to the Egyptian times already. So this is how they navigated the Nile back then, and they still do it today. Up next, we'll visit the famous Abu Simbel temple, built by Ramses II, the great builder of the pharaohs, also the Philae temple, and we'll do a nice felucca ride on the Nile and enjoy some really good local cuisine.
Thanks for watching!
If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below.
And leave us a comment. We would like to hear your opinions and thoughts.